Hey guys, it's Crypto Marie. She does it all, a little bit of everything. I saw this story in Yahoo Finance, so all credit is to be given to them. It says deeply disturbing. U.S. watchdog uncovers 5.4 billion and potentially fraudulent COVID-19 loans obtained using over 69,000 sketchy social security numbers. All right. And a U.S. government watchdog has issued a deeply disturbing fraud alert over the widespread use of questionable social security numbers SSNS to get pandemic loans. Jesus Christ. The Pandemic Responses Accountability Committee PRAC found that 69,329 potentially fraudulent social security numbers were used to obtain 5.4 billion from the Paycheck Protection Program PPP and the COVID-19 Economic Injury Disaster Loans EIDL program. This is crazy. The shocking revelation dropped just days before a hearing by the Republican House of Representatives Oversight Committee on Fraudulent Pandemic Spending was set to begin. What PRAC has discovered is deeply disturbing, said Senators Ron Paul and Johnny Ernst, who are demanding an investigation into COVID-19 loans fraud. The extent of the fraud could be far greater. Wow. This is crazy, seriously. This is something they put out there, try to help people who's in need, and people use the system, and $5.4 billion is a lot of money. I don't know how they're gonna recover that kind of money, and thank you God I was not one of them, but for some reason it's just crazy. People take advantage of the system. The Small Business Administration SBA launched the PPP and EIDL programs in 2020 to help small businesses and their employees recover from the economic impacts of the pandemic. Over the pandemic, the SBA provided about $800 billion in PPP loans and over $378 billion in EIDL loans. Now, all of them, it would seem to deserving business and individuals. But with that much money being distributed in the pandemic relief and so quickly, oversight was a must. And so the CARES Act created PRAC for just that purpose, and a review of more than 33 million PPP and EIDL application. The committee uncovered 221,427 potentially invalid social security numbers. Of those, 69,329 sketchy social security numbers made it through the system and were used in connections with 99,180 successful loans application amounting to 5.4 billion that was doled out between April 2020 and October 2022. A further 175,768 of the red flag social security numbers were used in loans application that weren't paid out. However, PRAC cautions that these social security number could be used in a future attempt to obtain benefits from other government's programs and therefore warrant further scrutiny. To find the suspicious activity, PRAC's Pandemic Analytics Center of Excellence, PACE, used publicly available Social Security Administration SSA data to identify suspicious social security numbers, such as those not issued by SSA or those with an accurate name and date of birth. This is crazy. Probing pandemic fraud. What made these two programs particularly vulnerable to fraud, PRAC says, was the elevated urgency to hand out the funds in a timely manner. SBA's initial approach to implement these programs quickly made billions of dollars available to millions of borrowers affected by the pandemic, but used few programs controls to verify applicants' eligibility prior to disbursing funds. The committee explained it in a Ford alert. Let's see. After the announcement, Poe and Ernst sent a letter to Hannibal Ware, Inspector General of the SBA, calling for more scrutiny and to pandemic relief to assess the true extent of fraudulent activity in government pandemic programs. The senators went on to urge the SBA to work with the Department of Justice to ensure that fraudsters are held accountable. Of course, this is crazy. If such investigation does happen, it wouldn't be the first examination of how pandemic funds were used. The SBA's COVID-19 relief programs have already come under fire for how hundreds of billions of taxpayers' dollars spent under the guise of pandemic relief were lost to waste, fraud, abuse, and mismanagement. As House Committee on Oversight and Accountability Chairman Rep. James Comer put it, the committee opened a hearing on Wednesday to probe how taxpayers' dollars were used, or in the words, wasted in COVID-19 relief program. We must identify where this money went, how much ended up in the hands of the fraudsters, or ineligible participants, and what should be done to ensure it never happens. Again, Comer said in his opening remarks. Ineligible. Okay, it's a big word. I have an accent. It's killing me anyhow. So may God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe. Crypto Marie, she does it all. A little bit of everything. I thought it was a great story to report on. Subscribe. Bye.